Hello everyone, my name is Lindsay Cairns and I will be presenting today on sugar sweetened beverage consumption in New York State, and at the end I will be doing a little intervention proposal. So in 2016 it was found that among adults 34.5% were overweight and 27% were obese. In the same year 13.5% of adolescents were overweight and 10.6% were obese. In 2015, it was found that 24% of adults consumed at least one sugary beverage a day, and 40% of public school students also consumed at least one sugary beverage a day. Among this data, it was found that the most likely to be overweight and obese and to consume sugary beverages were low-income minorities. So our overall aim was to assess the association between body mass index and sugar-sweetened beverage consumption in New York State. So we started out with the 2016 Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System data, or BREFIS we can call it. This is a national annual cross-sectional study that is done telephonically. They ask questions regarding risk factors for chronic diseases. For our specific analysis, we wanted to do New York State only, so we eliminated all other state data. We also eliminated extreme BMIs, which included anything that was less than 14 kilograms per square meter and anything over 40 kilograms per square meter. So in the end, our final population size was 22,572. So our variables for this analysis included our outcome, which is our BMI, which is continuous. Our exposure of interest was sugar-sweetened beverage consumption, which we categorized into none, 0 to 1, 1 to 7, and anything greater than 7. Our covariates that we also wanted to see what was associated with BMI was a sex, male or female, age, ethnicity, were they Latino or not, race, we categorized that into white, black, and other, education, income, physical activity, whether they had done any physical activity in the past 30 days, whether they had cardiovascular disease, or if they had been told they had diabetes. To do our analysis, we checked assumptions, we then checked linearity, we ran a few regressions, created a component plus residual plot, and assessed variance with complex survey weighting. We finally assessed normality, and we did this through the use of STATA, IC. So our results show that 32% of all participants didn't even drink sugary sweetened beverage, but 19% of participants drank more than 7 sugary beverages weekly. Amongst normal BMI, 30% drank 1 to 7 sugary beverages weekly, and 18% drank more than 7. Among obese BMI, 27% drank 1 to 7 sugary beverages weekly, but 21% drank more than 7. 72% of all participants were white, and 17% were black. Among that 17% black population, 23% were obese. We saw that obesity rates declined from 42% to 27% as education levels increased, and we saw that overall 8% of our population had cardiovascular disease, 5% of which were normal weight, and 11% of which were obese. Diabetes ranges went from 4% to 18%. 4% was normal BMI to an 18% of obese BMI. So unadjusted rates showed little to no association between 0 to 1 and 1 to 7 sugary sweetened beverage consumed weekly, but we did see a little bit of statistical evidence that there was a association between more than 7 sugary beverage consumed weekly and an increase in BMI. When we adjusted our rates, we saw that there was a significant relationship between 0 to 1 and more than 7 sugary sweetened beverages consumed. We also saw a significant relationship between BMI and race, seeing that there was an increase of 0.9 units among Black participants. We also saw a significant relationship between a college education and a low BMI. We also saw that no physical activity was associated with higher BMI, and being diagnosed with diabetes was associated with a higher BMI. So in conclusion, we found an association between increase in sugar sweetened beverage consumption and an increase in body mass index. For more significant results were found among race and education. Further research should assess the effect of sugar sweetened beverage consumption on low-income minority populations. Sugar sweetened beverage availability should be limited in vulnerable communities through the increase of healthy drink choices. So this brings us to our interventions. So what do we know? In New York City in 2008, they implemented a healthy beverage vending machines in public schools, and they created these standards. The standards were that there couldn't be more than 2 slots of unhealthy beverages in a vending machine. All healthy beverages had to have less than 25 calories in each 8 ounce. All healthy beverages had to be eye level to the target population, and any unhealthy beverages had to be smaller portion sizes than the healthy beverages. Lastly, there could be no advertisements for any sugary drinks. This same sort of intervention happened in Phoenix, Arizona, amongst community centers. They switched out all unhealthy options in vending machines for healthy foods and drinks. They also implemented the less than 25 calories standard for all drinks, and they ended up finding a decrease in calories, sodium, and sugar intake among those vending machines, and they didn't even see a decrease in purchases. So this brings us to our intervention, Go for H2O. So we created an intervention for the South Bronx, District 7 public schools. The reason we chose this was because they have the lowest graduation rate in Bronx County. So our intervention is a socio-ecological look into creating the best environment for our students. We want to change the community, so we want to change the vending machines. We want to make ensure that the schools are using these standards that were created in 2008. So that was over 10 years ago. So we want to definitely check to make sure vending machines are still working and the correct beverages are in them. We also want to make a little tweak to that intervention and take out all beverages with calories, sodium, and sugar and replace them with 0-calorie seltzers with no added sugar. We also want to give every student a water bottle. This will affect their individuality and give them autonomy, because maybe they can't afford those vending machines, but they have faucets in their house, there's water fountains all over the city, and there's water fountains in schools where they can fill up their water bottles. Hopefully, them using these water bottles will create the autonomy that we want, that will create discussion among friends in other school districts, among families, that will start the conversation about the increase in water consumption and the decrease in sugary sweetened beverage consumption. To measure the effectiveness of our intervention, we will start with a measure of baseline water and sugary beverage consumption in the beginning of the intervention. This will be a 3-month-long intervention, and 2 times throughout this 3 months, we will have a 7-day diary where participants will tally their soda intake or sugary beverage intake and their water intake through the use of units of cans and bottles. At the end, after the 3-month intervention, we will come back 3 months later and we will do a food frequency questionnaire, which will ask what the participants have drank over the past 30 days. Here we will see if they have continued to drink more water and have decreased their amount of sugary sweetened beverage consumption. Any decrease in sugary beverage and any increase in water consumption will look like a success for us, and we will be able to go further into other districts and help other children. All right, and that is all we have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed our intervention talk. Thank you so much.